innovation, resilience, agility. It's how Michigan businesses work together and continue to build the future. Our expertise, talented workforce, and collaborative environment are making a difference now and shaping the future. Join us and make your mark where it matters. Visit michiganbusiness.org/radio to put your plans in motion. That's michiganbusiness.org/radio.
Here we go.
Hey.
That's what Bill Cosby's attorney said when he called him on the phone just a few moments ago.
Bill's getting out, huh?
What the hell? Bill Cosby, if you haven't heard the news, Bill Cosby will be released from prison as the Pennsylvania Supreme Court has overturned his sex assault conviction.
Do we overturn it in our minds?
No, they didn't say that he didn't do it. It was the fact that he had signed an agreement with the previous prosecutors. It's a long, convoluted story. Apparently, he had agreed to testify in some other case, and that would prevent him from ever being prosecuted with the information that he had admitted to, something along those lines. And then a new prosecutor took over and didn't agree with the original, which was a stupid agreement to make with him anyway. But the Pennsylvania Supreme Court has said, no, there was an agreement that he couldn't be prosecuted on this information. You chose to prosecute him on it anyway, and that's not legal. He had an agreement. So there's nothing in here about him not being guilty. And as you said on our text thread, we know what that blind bleep did.
Yes.
So
yes, and the legal loopholes.
Got off on a technicality.
Yeah.
Got off on a technicality. So he served a couple of years. It was a 3 to 10 year sentence. He served a couple of years, and he will be released within hours, is what I just read on People magazine. So,
we ever see him again? There's no chance. He can't make a comeback.
It'd be interesting. I was thinking this drive in here. It's funny that you say that. I'm going to give you the code word. We have a lot of sports to get to. I'm not getting bogged down in Cosby talk. So, but I was thinking as we were driving over here, what if we were given the opportunity to interview him?
Yes.
You would do it?
Yes.
You would. I don't think I would.
To give him. Don't give him the attention.
We kind of know here. He was convicted of something, and whether he could be released because of a technicality. I just he's a bad dude, and so
I guess I wouldn't ask him about Leonard number 6 in the Cosby Show. Like he knows what the questions are going to be.
Right.
Yeah, you give him hard questions, but would 60 Minutes when they?
That's
what
Oprah you said. Where are we going to see him again? That's what I was thinking because. I think we will. I think there are plenty of television shows that will covet the interview with Bill Cosby. But all you're going to get is a man saying, I was wrongly imprisoned for something that I didn't do. That's what he's going to say over and over.
But, Bill, were you wrongly accused? Because
yes.
you were wrongly in prison. You were wrongly accused.
Yes, I was wrongly accused.
So those 20 women are all lying.
That is correct. You know what I mean? Like that's what you're going to get because why wouldn't you? So then what purpose is the interview serving?
Yeah.
You're not, you always you want the person to have this moment where they go, I've seen the error in my ways and I will spend my last remaining years making amends if that's even possible for the people that I hurt and damaged and stuff. And you never get that.
No.
You never get that.
Bill, did you put anything in anyone's drink that they didn't know was there?
Right.
And he'd say no.
No.
I've told you that a number of times.
Yeah. And then
I take it back. No, I don't want to interview him. It's going to be terrible.
All right. Let's move away from that and try to give away $1,000. We have covered that in 5 minutes.
We're better than 60
minutes.
We're
better than 60 minutes. We're 5 minutes.
Can't get too much money off those 5 minutes, can we? No sponsors.
We're giving you a chance to win $1,000. This hour's code word is line. L-I-N-E. Bill Cosby was lying. You see? No, not that lion. Line. L-I-N-E. Text the word line to 72881, and you're entered in the contest, and you just might win $1,000. Text the word line right now to 72881, and you could be $1,000 richer. It is a national contest. Message and data rates may apply. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE, 1-800-747-3733. What the hell happened in the Hawks-Bucks game last night? I still can't figure it out. Because even before Giannis got hurt, the Hawks were kicking their ass.
Yeah.
Without Trae Young.
Yep.
How's that possible?
Lemon Pepper Lou, baby.
Is that what it is? It's Lemon Pepper Lou?
Lemon Pepper Lou.
You're telling me Giannis, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, they can't stop sixth man of the year, Lemon Pepper Lou?
Well, first off, Chris Middleton, he has one good game minimum a year, I see.
Oh, my God. So we bet the Chris Middleton over last night. If you were listening to the end of the show, we had decided to bet Chris Middleton over and Trae Young under. And Trae Young was obviously off the board by the time I went to put in the bets because he was ruled out. So we had Chris Middleton over 24.5. I haven't looked at his stat line. I looked at it last night. I think it was like 0 of 8 from 3, 0 of 8, 0 of 9. He was like 3 of 12 for shooting. I mean, it was painful, man.
8 points in the first half.
It was painful.
And then when Giannis went out, I don't cheer for injuries.
No. But it made sense. Like, when Giannis went out, that was our opportunity for Chris Middleton to put up a quick 18 points.
And the next possession down court, he pulls up for a 3, and I get up off the couch like it's a game winner, and he doesn't even touch the rim, I think, just off the backboard. I was like, oh, Chris, come on, man.
We'll talk about some Hawks-Bucks today. We're going to talk a little Dolphins today and talk to our friend Brady Quinn today. We always like when Brady Quinn joins us. John Michaels, the morning host at 680 The Fan in Atlanta. I'm sure, going crazy about their Hawks. He's going to join us today. We'll start here with headlines, your 2 o'clock headlines with our own Alejandro Solana.
This sports update, it's brought to you by Local 10 News on WSFL TV 39 from 10 to 11 p.m. Get the same Local 10 News you know and trust 1 hour earlier. Tune in tonight. WSFL TV 39, Game 5. Bucks-Hawks is tomorrow. I saw an early line of Milwaukee 2.5-point favorites at home, but that could all change, right, with news of Giannis Antetokounmpo's
Right, so it's really up in the air at this point because there are some places that have preliminary lines out, but a lot of places are not even putting out lines because you gotta find out what's going on with him.
Giannis ain't playing.
I don't know. I mean, it was a hyperextension for sure, right? I mean, it bent backwards. I don't think it was ACL. I know you had texted us some tweet that said, somebody was saying that they fear an ACL. Well, you always fear an ACL when it's a leg injury. That did not look like an ACL injury to me.
Ooh, I don't know, Hawk. I always say how the athletes respond. Like, the initial bang, I never take it.
Right.
It's when the guy goes crazy and slams his head, starts moving, then I'm like, okay, he's not that hurt. Giannis sat there, grabbed his knee, and started crying.
He knew.
Like, there's something wrong inside of this joint. Like,
it is 2.5 on our site here. It's Bucks minus 2.5, and I think that completely flip-flops if Giannis is going to be out.
But if Trae Young is out as well, like, I don't know.
But Trae Young just has a bruise, right? Didn't I see it's a
bone bruise?
A bone bruise on his ankle, and he had tried treatment and stuff. But now you have 3 or 4 days. That seems like something, where you talk about playing with pain versus playing with an injury.
Yeah.
And that would seem like playing with pain that might have prevented him last night, but maybe tomorrow he'd be good to go.
And the psychological knock of Giannis not playing on that team. Because Trae Young, those guys were jacked up. I don't want to say excited Trae wasn't playing, but you see how they came out the gate balling.
I was going to have the take today that they're better without Trae Young and the Bucks are better without Giannis.
I don't know about that.
Bring them to the Heat because they're not helping the Bucks or the Hawks at all.
Both of them. I'm with that now. I'm with that.
Tonight, Game 6, Clippers-Suns, 9 p.m. start time. Phoenix, a 1-point favorite in L.A.
Yeah. I don't know how the Clippers have won any of these games, so I don't know anymore. All right? I don't know.
This damn Reggie Jackson's getting to me.
Someone's got to stop asking me. I don't know. Can anyone see that my hot streak is over?
Yes.
I was giving out unsolicited advice on Twitter over the weekend. I had such a nice hot streak going. Now, stop asking me. I don't know. How the hell are the Clippers beating the Suns without Kawhi Leonard? How are the Hawks beating the Bucks without Trae Young? And how the hell is Bill Cosby going out for a milkshake tonight? Well, what's going on here?
Crazy world.
Crazy world we live in.
got to win. This guy's going nuts. Let's bet something else, man. There's some horses racing or something. Goodness gracious, you're on edge.
The Lakers, they hired former Heat assistant coach, former Knicks and Grizzlies head coach David Fizdale as their new assistant coach in L.A.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Fizdale, he's worked under Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley, so he really needs that final lesson from the best, Frank Vogel.
They better not win it. He's going to get on center stage like he did with the Heat.
I remember that.
What, the ESPYs?
like the least known Heat staffer. And then all of a sudden it's like David Fizdale's pushing Riley and LeBron and everybody to the side. Fizz, what are you doing?
You're an ancillary piece. You know what that means, right?
No, that's got to be exciting for him, honestly, because he got the appetizer with Riley and Spo and an organization like the Heat, and now he'll really have the head coaching secrets hammered home by Frank Vogel.
Does he keep his Frederick Douglass hairdo?
I don't know. I was thinking about that as well. The things I think about.
You can't be on the sideline with that, Fizz. For real. Like, the organization has to tell him. Bro,
maybe if you're a head coach, but not as an assistant.
No. Cause
you know what I mean?
Remember we talked about Pop looking like an
homeless
old
dude.
Hobbit bum. Yeah.
And if he was an assistant, you really can't have that look.
No, he's going to have to cut
that. He's going to have to cut the hair.
Los Marlins, they lost yesterday 4-3, another one-run loss for the Marlins. That's 10 losses in their last 14 games. They'll try again today. They're in Philadelphia, 7:05 p.m. First pitch, Jordan Holloway gets the nod.
All right, Marlins, again, still in the cellar in the National League East. They are 33-45, 9.5 games back of the division-leading Mets.
UM senior guard Cameron McGusty, he withdrew from the NBA draft yesterday. He'll return to UM for his senior season.
Very good.
I love that rule in NBA.
It's so good, man.
Go out there, inquire what's going to happen.
Can you imagine? You have to gamble on your entire future.
Yep.
I mean, what crazy stakes for a college student who might or might not be drafted in the NBA draft. You make the wrong decision, you may have wrecked your entire future.
You have no more basketball left. You can't go to college. The NBA doesn't want you.
Crazy.
You're stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
The NFL, it's way different than NBA with the numbers and all, but they need to somewhat adopt some angle of that.
I agree.
Finally, guys, did you see this? The fan at the Tour de France, that he caused a large crash over the weekend?
Yes, she.
That's right.
Yeah.
She's been arrested. She sent Tony Martin and a whole bunch of cyclists down. Well, the French, I guess, like security or the police in France, they have taken her into custody, and she's reportedly facing a fine of 1,500 euros. And there's reports that they want to sue her and make an example out of her.
Yeah.
What did she do?
So all the I'll show you the video. Did you see the video?
I saw the video
where they all crashed.
But I saw the crash.
She was standing on the side with a sign that she wanted to be on TV. She had a little handmade sign that she wanted on TV. So the cameras are showing all the bicyclists and or cyclists. Yeah. I wanted to jump in and correct myself. I was so angry. I was like, "Who just said bicyclists? That was me." Hey, dummy, cyclists. You see, it's not just you.
Right.
It's me. I have no tolerance for that when it comes to anybody. Bicyclists. I mean, what is
I'm nodding, looking right in the eyes. Yep,
Bicyclists. Hold on. I'm gonna show you the video here. Because when you see what she did, I think she should be held criminally liable, no?
Criminally?
Look.
Expelled from the Tour de France.
Look at how many people... Watch her. She's holding the sign out.
Oh, yeah.
They have a very small lane because there's 1,500 bicyclists. And she put the sign out. They ran into the sign. Like, that's on her. She's Bartman.
I thought...
Or as they say in France, Baltman.
Huh? What is wrong with you?
Steven is booing me from the other side.
I had one to go.
Yeah, as they say in France, Baltman.
That wasn't malice. That wasn't malicious.
I'm sorry, but stupidity sometimes is.
What if somebody bumped her elbow? Like that's not criminal charges.
I think it is.
Opening stage, Crowder. The very start of the biggest cycling event in the entire world.
I mean, also maybe have some stanchion out there so that you can't do that. Like, the organizers, I don't know. Tour de France seems like it probably generates a decent amount of money. Buy some ropes.
Yeah. What about the little traffic things when they're doing construction?
No, but this is a part of the tournament. The fans get an up close personal view.
Well,
they get to cheer.
If that's the case, then I would not charge her criminally.
No,
if that's part of being a Tour de France fan, then I didn't know that was part of it. I didn't know that was applauded.
Whatever happened to just having some courtesy as a fan? You're out there. I get it. You want the cool selfie. You want to be on TV. Well, have some courtesy. You're there for the Tour de France. You took out the entire Tour de France.
Solana, was she in the wrong? Yes. But assault by cardboard? Like, how can that make it an assault by cardboard?
I mean, listen, we don't even know France's laws. That might be on the books, assault by cardboard, or cardboard, as they say in French.
So all you're going to do is just say the same word funny?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I've been in one of those moods today. It's my wife's birthday. And so you'd think that I would be extra special nice to her. I cannot get out of my head Ara Carumbo, which I even sent it to you guys on a voice text.
Yes.
So I have annoyed my wife for, I don't know, what time did I get up this morning? 7:30? From 7:30 till I left the house at 12:30, just saying, Ara Carumbo. All day long. Can't get it out of my head.
Giannis, Ara Carumbo.
Ara Carumbo. Can't get it out of my head.
Couldn't save it for tomorrow?
Can't. It's locked and loaded. And now I've got Baltman. I've got
cardboard.
Yeah, cardboard and Baltman in the Tour de France. All right. Anything else, Solana?
Your weather from the Demesman and Dover Accident Attorney Weather Center.
Demesman and Dover.
This is the Hawk and Crowder Show.
Oh, what an idiot you are.
I agree.
Hawk and Crowder.
These are the final seconds.
The lead in the fourth. Can they hold on to it?
That do or die time. And everything rides on one shot. But it isn't going to be that easy.
And it's a one-point game.
This is down to the wire.
They're going to try the three-point attempt.
One shot to take you to the top. One winner. This is clutch basketball. That's the NBA playoffs. That's game.
Just showing Crowder on the air, off the air. Kodak Black throwing about $100,000 off a boat into the ocean. He's making it rain into the ocean with $100,000.
I might need Solana help on this one because this might be a young child thing. I've seen $100,000 thrown to strippers.
Sure.
But
the money gets recycled back into the economy. There's no shame in that.
Like, Solana, what's the point of throwing money into the ocean? Is that something new y'all are starting?
I carry a metal straw, so you're asking the wrong guy, my guy.
Hawk showed me this video. I'm flabbergasted.
Lil Duval had a great tweet. He tweeted out a guy in a scuba suit, and it just says, "Me looking for the money Kodak Black threw in the ocean." And it's just a dude swimming around in the bottom of the ocean with a scuba suit on.
I've actually been involved in throwing money in a normal club, which is it's really like saying
it's a look at me thing.
I'm just rich. It's the sparklers on your VIP.
This money
bottle.
that means so much to you doesn't mean that much to me.
But into the ocean?
It's insulting. It really is, because there's so many people that need money. If Kodak Black wants to spread it around, God bless him. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Throwing it in the ocean? I mean, he's the old lady in Titanic now with the pendant.
That's exactly what he is. He's Rose.
He's Rose.
Rose, get your goofy ass out the water and give me that big ass diamond. What is that? Yeah, that's just dumb.
Hey, Kodak, is that money waterproof?
I hope so.
Yeah, we all do.
My good.
I mean, just throwing it into the ocean.
I just hope his friend was, because you can't see the edge of the boat. Like, I hope he's smart enough that his buddy was in the water in a jet ski or something.
You hope Kodak Black was smart enough that he had a friend stationed in the water on a rescue boat.
Touche. I'm more upset That's just dumb.
It's so dumb.
I've seen people blow money.
It's dumb.
That's the dumbest thing. I've seen dudes gamble hundreds of thousands of dollars.
It goes
away.
back into the economy. I mean, that's what makes the world go round. So I have no problem with that. And if you want to gamble $100,000 and lose it, God bless you. If you've got it to lose, God bless you. I don't care.
I know a guy that lost a million gambling, and he's not as dumb as Kodak Black throwing $100,000 into the ocean.
All right. Well, Kodak, if you're listening, I'm going to give you a chance to win $1,000 here.
Throw it in the ocean.
It's our hourly code word. This hour's code word is bottle. B-O-T-T-L-E. Bottle. Oh, is that why you played Genie in a Bottle?
That is why. Yes.
Oh, wow. Look at that. All comes together at the end. And now you know the rest of the story.
What's that?
Paul Harvey, radio legend.
Only the shadow knows.
That's exactly right. That's what I was thinking as I did that. Let's put that for DBJ. And now you know the rest of the story.
That's fun.
Paul Harvey.
Who is that?
Radio legend. Anywho, giving you a chance to win $1,000. Text the word bottle right now to 72881, and you're entered in the contest, and you just might win $1,000 that you could launch off a boat. Text the word bottle to 72881, and you might win $1,000.
I think I've asked you this before. Have you ever bought a bottle in the club?
Me? No.
None of you. You've never been with a group of guys, and you're like, "Hey, we're gonna all buy 4 drinks, get it together."
Because I told you when I was going to the club, say in college, late '80s, early '90s, it wasn't like it is now. With it's different.
Was there not a VIP section, or you couldn't get in?
Well, I didn't have that kind of money. First of all,
I know, but I'm saying like if you're gonna go out to the club, you'll drink a half a beer, but a normal dude will drink 5-6 drinks. You say, "Hey, I'm gonna spend $60. You're gonna spend 60. Let's get $300 together, and we buy a bottle and get a section."
Yes, absolutely. But it wasn't a big deal to buy a bottle in the club back in those days. It just wasn't. It wasn't the big show that it is now. Now it's a big show. Yeah, now it's a big show. So yes, we would go if we went to a gentleman's club when we were in college and we wanted to get a nice table in a nice section. Yeah, you pool your money. But we didn't have a lot of money. We were college students. So it was like, all right, I'm going to buy the bottle, but now I've got no money left for Hilda.
The girl's names were Hilda?
It's a national contest. Message and data rates may apply. And it's sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. You have to remember, I was not getting bags with cash to go to University of Miami, perhaps the way that you were at your college. They were not interested whether I showed up or not.
I have my Pell Grant. That's it. Legal checks. That's it, Hawk.
Solana, what do we have for headlines? Headlines with Alejandro Solana.
This sports update, it's brought to you by Local 10 News on WSFL TV 39. Finally, you have a choice in local news from 7 to 9 a.m. with Alexis Frazier and Gio Insignatis. Now at a time that fits your life on WSFL TV 39, I will invite you out with me and my friends when we get a bottle, Hawk, because I feel like you need that experience in your life.
Nah, I'm good.
Well, you were in the 80s, right?
I mean,
y'all weren't worried about no liquor.
Not in Miami.
Yeah, Jack.
No, but it's not. I could do that tonight, Solana. I have no problem. I could go get a bottle. I could get a section by myself and get as many bottles as I want. I'm good.
Man, you, Chuck, Jim, down Fountain Blue. What's that? Live? Come on, Hawk.
But in all honesty, I would much rather spend that time and that money in the high limit stables at Hard Rock, which I have been known to do. That's
you just don't know if you're on that second level at Live and the girls are on the first level. They looking up. They want to come up.
Yeah, but then they come up and they see me, and then where are they going?
Hey, Mark.
Listen, I have great self-awareness. I don't need someone hanging out with me because they think it might benefit them. That's not. I'm so far past that.
Man,
that's many years ago. I don't believe that the girls at the Cheetah are in love with me, no matter how many times they say it. I don't believe the dealer at Hard Rock wants me to win, no matter how many times she says it.
I'm on your side. Really? Why do you have that shirt on then? They kill us with that in
I
Vegas.
have great self-awareness. And I can't imagine you and your friends getting bottle service salon is that much fun anyway.
No, I mean, it's a thrill. What if it's something a little more your speed, like a Blue Martini maybe in Boca?
Yeah,
How about
but again,
that?
I don't need bottle service at Blue Martini. Like if I go at Blue Martini, everyone knows why everyone's there. It's it's older divorced people that are looking to find other older divorced people with money. What am I got to impress somebody with a bottle service? If I walk into Blue Martini and sit down at the bar, I mean, I might as well start handing my resume out.
So that's 95. You go, West on Glades, right?
I mean, what do you do in the club with bottle service, Solana?
It's bottle. What do you mean? What do you do? It's bottle service.
I understand that. What do you do?
First and foremost, you skip the line if you get a bottle.
I got you.
Which is pivotal, right? The lines
Absolutely.
are crazy. Hey, 300. Me and 3 of my boys. We're going up.
That's why
to the
I
front.
like to fly first class.
You walk right in, and then people see you walking right in. You get in, and like Crowder said, you have your section, your VIP section. They flock to you.
Got
People
your
flock
table.
to you.
Right, but then what do you do?
I mean, you know what I do. You guys know.
Give the girl bad taste.
You know me.
Ask her to take you to the bathroom to make a number 2. You ask her how to bake this frozen frosted cake.
The salada's fun. You know something too, because I don't even drink like liquor. I'm a beer wine guy, so I'll get a bottle even now just to skip the line, just to sit down. I'm not standing up anymore. I think I work hard enough not to stand up.
I'm with you. It's why I fly first class when available. I do. I don't. It's why I get the fast pass. It's why I stay on the Universal property when I'm going to Universal Studios. I don't want to wait in a line anymore.
What Disney has done with the Fast Pass, by the way, we haven't discussed this, I don't think. It should be criminal. It should be outlawed what they've done with the Fast Pass. Because before, you would go and you would insert your card, and if there was Fast Passes available, you would get it. That's just how it worked. First come, first served.
Well, now you do it on the app. Like you kind of reserve it in advance.
Right, but you have to reserve it like 2 months before your trip. If not, there's basically no Fast Pass available, especially now everybody's flocking back to the parks, and you're limited to 3 Fast Passes per park per day.
Right, but I'll tell you, Disney, though, you're not paying a premium for the Fast Pass. When you get into the park, everyone gets it. So I don't mind that as much. Universal, you have to stay on property, and then you have to buy the Express Pass. So you're paying a premium, but you can use that to go on the same ride over and over and over and over. But there's a charge that accompanies that, so you get that right. With Disney, everyone gets it.
There should be a premium at Disney World. I want to go Fast Pass in every single ride. I'll pay $150 for it. I don't want to wait. And it's ridiculous that I'm limited to 3 Fast Passes per day at any which park. Ridiculous. I want to pay. I have the money. I can afford it. Let me pay. I want special treatment.
Well, you can't have it.
I'm into that, because especially like valet parking, and I'll be like, hey, I want to stay up front. There's no more spots. 50. Oh, the spots are taken. 80.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, I can move this car here. Like, I'm with you. If
I
you're gonna
agree.
spend extra money,
I'd buy
you
in
should
for
be
the
able to
Fast
do
Pass,
it.
but that is the reason that they limit you to 3 is because they don't have an upcharge for it.
Right.
Give
and
me an
now
upcharge.
You can't, and they've made every line handicap accessible, so you can't even fake an ACL tear and go in a wheelchair for Fast Pass, for free Fast Pass. Ride.
Because the line itself is handicap accessible?
Disney World, almost every line is handicap.
Interesting, because people would always take advantage of that. They would have someone be in the Lark.
Yeah.
You draw the short straw, and you got to go through the park in the Lark.
I did that leaving Jamaica.
Somebody texts in, VIP with bottle service and a metal straw. Dude's got a Fast Pass to Home Alone. That's a funny line.
Yeah.
Funny line.
You wasting your time in the VIP. You just
No,
up
but
there.
solely for jumping the line, it's worth it. Honestly, solely for jumping the line, it's worth it. All right, what do you have for headlines? We're going to run out of time here.
It's a bad feeling when people know you in line and you're 80th. Hey, Crowder, what's up? Hey, man, how you doing?
It's why I can't, this is not relatable at all. But it's why I can't sit in the 300 level at a sporting event. And the same for you.
Yeah. Nope.
I hate that. Hey, Hawk, I listen to you all the time. Yeah, and then they're waving from the lower bowl. Hawk, I see you. I see you from the lower bowl.
Your hat on low.
I went to the Duke basketball game, not last season because whatever, but the season before. I went to the Duke basketball game. A friend of mine from Chicago, and I had gotten comp tickets. It was at the Watsco Center, and while I was there, I ran into Gino Torretta, and I introduced my friend to him, Gino Torretta, and obviously, wow, Heisman Trophy winner, how cool. And Gino's like, man, I paid an arm and a leg for these tickets. And I mean, you know, and I think was getting housed by Duke. And then he walked away, and my buddy looked at me, and he goes, let me get this straight. You got comp tickets, and Gino Torretta, who has a trophy, a statue at paid for his tickets? What's wrong here? Well, that's what happens if I get pictured in the 300 level or the 400 level, as much as I want to go to an event.
I just can't do it. Oh, I feel you, too.
You guys mucked it up with Corey Dickerson for 15 minutes, and you're sitting in the upper deck at Lone Depot Park? Was it good for nothing?
I lie. Yeah, I'm just waiting for some people. I ain't even really in line. Huh?
Yeah. No, Crowder especially. Because you're highly recognizable if you're in line for anything. Like, that's, yeah.
Oh, no. It's happened a bunch of times. Yeah. Well, yeah. And people come say, and people say stuff to me.
Oh, yeah. They can't believe you're in line.
Well, even going into Dolphin games, going into anything at Hard Rock Stadium, me and my wife would be at concerts or the fight. Like, we're walking in and we're in line. People are like, man, Crowder, you ain't got no hookup around here, bro. I'm like, I do. I'm explaining myself to fans, and I'm like, why the hell do I care what you think?
I know.
Just hang out with me more. That won't be an issue.
With you limping around, I got to go, baby. I got to shake.
Last night, 110-88 was the final in Game 4, so the series of the Eastern Conference Finals, Hawks-Bucks, has been even. We're all waiting news on Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was supposed to undergo further imaging of that left knee, which he hyperextended in yesterday's
we
game.
should know fairly soon, right? I mean, once they take the image, you'll know whether it's an ACL issue.
The swelling could be too severe for them to get clear images. I don't know if it is or not, but that may be the holdup here.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
But like Kawhi, they don't have to tell us what's wrong.
Correct.
Because nobody knows what's going on with Kawhi.
Yeah, I don't know. Does Kawhi know? Have they told him?
He looks confused in that box.
He's going to talk it over with Kyrie Irving, and then they're going to figure it out together, Kawhi and Kyrie. Game 5 in the Eastern Conference Finals is tomorrow. But tonight, Game 6, Western Conference Finals, Clippers, Suns, 9 p.m. Is that line still Phoenix -1?
No, last I saw, let me look here. Last I saw, it was Pick'em. Let's see here. Oh, no, -1. Suns -1. And the Bucks tomorrow night are -2 right now. It was -2.5 when the show started, so -2. You buy into what LeBron was saying last week and what people are saying now about, the shortened season and all these injuries? Because you can't tell me that a shortened season had anything to do with Trae Young stepping on the foot of a ref. You know what I mean? And I understand one side of the argument. This isn't just coincidence that everyone is getting injured, but by the other side, Giannis came down funny on his knee. You see that happen all the time. Trae Young, it was an unfortunate accident where the ref was standing there, so I don't know.
I thought about that, too. Am I living in the moment? Because I can't think about another season. LeBron missed 2.5 months this year. AD missed the entire playoffs. Now Kawhi's hurt. Chris Paul's shoulder. Now Trae Young's out. Devin Booker broke his nose. There's some stuff that's maybe flukish, but it seems like there are more injuries than in past playoffs. In my mind, I don't know if I'm just living in the moment.
There are, but I just don't know if it really has anything to do with a shortened, compact season.
Well, I'll tell you, Trae Young and Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't have a shortened offseason. We beat the Bucks in 5, and the Hawks, I think, ended up missing the playoffs last year. I don't even think they went to the bubble.
But a compacted regular season, even though it was only 72 games, it was still a compacted season.
All 4 teams in the Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals last year, the Heat, the Celtics, the Lakers, and the Nuggets, suffered severe injuries other than the Heat, but they looked just shot at the end of the season in that Bucks series. So we talked about it where I give some credence to what LeBron was saying and to what others are saying, where this season is kind of just a crapshoot at this point. But then you made the argument, the players want to get paid, And that makes sense to me as well. They want to get the cash that they're owed. Well, they have to play games. If not, how are the NBA
I know. I
teams gonna pay?
that's the reality of it. And you can complain all you want, but everybody knows what the reality of it is. So, but you can speak on this, obviously, being injured yourself. So that's why I went to you as an expert.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the pandemic was tough on a lot of us.
Do you think if we weren't in pandemic/COVID protocols, that you would be as injured as you are?
Listen, I put my body on the line every day for this show, and you guys asked a lot from me, and I delivered, and that may be why I'm dealing with it now.
That makes sense. We appreciate your dedication to the program.
If there was no COVID, would Solana be hurt? That's a hell of a question.
I don't know. I don't know.
He wasn't working out as much. You weren't doing as much, so you were kind of. You
didn't have your game shape. You didn't have your game legs, your timing, right? I mean, how long had it been since you played basketball when you tore your ACL?
Couple months, for sure.
There you go. Yeah.
Casualty to COVID, Solana.
Unbelievable.
Not even driving yet, huh?
Not driving.
But you can bend your knee.
I can bend it.
He sent me a little Snapchat last night in the car with Eduardo. I love his dad, man. His dad was taking shots at him because he knew the Snapchat was coming to me. He's like, I pick him up, and he's like a child. What, am I taking him to school?
I hope his accent's just like yours.
It's so thick. It is such a thick Uruguayan accent.
I like it.
It's great.
He's been here since 1980, but that accent has just not gotten any better.
Let's hear how your dad sounds. Give it to us.
Oh, man, this is tough. I've got to pick him up from school. I can't do it.
That's crazy. You're around him every day.
I can't do it.
I did a better impersonation of your dad than you did.
That's fear.
You sounded like Apu in The Simpsons.
And he's not from Argentina, is he?
Uruguay.
All right.
I do it on purpose.
All right. Tonight, the Marlins, by the way, they play in Philly, 7:05 p.m. Guys, tonight, the government, they're going to release a summary of everything that they know about UFOs. Or they're going to. The government, I should say, they're going to. But tonight, Discovery Channel at 8 p.m., they're doing a 3-hour live event called UFOs Declassified. They're going to analyze the report that the government released on UFOs. And
I need to hear from an actual alien. Enough of us trying to figure out what's this flying light, what that put some, put Blurple on the show and let me hear, what his experience on Earth is like. I'll watch.
I want to book him, Solana. Hell with Bill Cosby. Book him.
Blurple.
His name's Blurple. Huh?
Blurple.
I've been saying it for 10 years, and now they're going to tell us on National Geographic.
Mm-hmm.
Millions of aliens out there laughing at us. Watch us like fish in a fish tank.
Yep.
Your weather from the Demesman and Dover Accident Attorney Weather Center. Call 24/7 at 866-954-MORE. Still raining in Miami after record number of rain yesterday. Record
number of raindrops. Counted them.
There was a record yesterday of rainfall in Miami.
No doubt.
But also something to keep an eye on in the tropics. All the spaghetti models have potential storms. These aren't named storms yet, but they look like they're going to end up being the next 2 named storms.
What are you?
What are you
talking about? You're going to the
Y'all
store
going somewhere? Grab me some hot pork rinds.
I mean, this is serious. This is serious.
Well,
You're laughing.
What's serious? I don't even know what you're saying.
Just keep an eye on the tropics.
The one down the street has Funky Buddha.
Storms.
Okay.
Storms.
Just keep an eye on the tropics. Ejecting from the serious weather report. Just keep an eye on the tropics.
It's spaghetti model time of year.
It's that time of year. Don't we have a dust plume to worry about as well?
We're pluming and spaghettiing?
Are we going to break out the radar? I guess we are. Anything to report on the plume?
No, I have nothing to report.
This
on the
TV volume is still on. I can hear it behind me. This is for 2 days now. I can hear the lady talking behind me on CNBC.
How are your ears this good? I don't hear anything.
Isn't that crazy? Walk up and put your ear on the TV and tell me you don't hear it.
Put it on the TV?
Walk up there, put your ear on the TV.
You're far away.
I know, it's crazy. And I'm 51. Am I right? Yeah, I know. I can hear it. It's crazy. That TV volume is on.
I thought these like TVs didn't have speakers.
That's
though.
what I
They
would
were
have
just
assumed
screens.
as well. But yeah, no, it's on. All right. Anything
It's
else,
a
Solana?
whisper. You need medicine to go to the bathroom.
Isn't that crazy?
Medicine to go to sleep, and you can hear that.
Isn't that crazy?
Your body's different.
That's
man.
crazy, man.
You're
It's crazy.
different.
I might be blurple.
You're listening to the Hawk and Crowder Show.
X gonna give it to you.
Hawk and Crowder.
A couple things on this day. This day in 1971, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was released to theaters. I believe that's one of the few movies from the 70s, early 70s, that still holds up today.
Oh, it's great.
Talking about the original with Gene Wilder, because they
Yes.
remade it.
with that weirdo Johnny Depp.
It was Johnny Depp.
Oh,
Yeah, I
my
never saw the
goodness.
remake. But the original, terrific movie.
Awesome. My kids, it holds up because my kids have seen the original, and they enjoyed it, sat down. You know, they were 7 and 6 at the time, and they sat down for 2 hours and watched it. I love that movie. Only thing gets to me is those lazy-ass grandparents sitting up in the bed eating cabbage soup.
They were injured.
No, they weren't injured because as soon as the granddaddy had a chance to get his lazy ass out the bed, he jumped up and started dancing. So you gonna lay in the bed 10 years, now you go to the factory, and now you're going to get your lazy ass up.
Solana, that's you with your ACL injury. You were Grandpa in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Sometimes you just gotta lax it out, Crowder. You know?
Yeah. No, you know what? It does hold up.
On this day in 1999, one of the worst movies ever was released to theaters, Wild Wild West.
Oh, with Will Smith?
Why are you smiling when you say that as if you're about to say what a good movie?
That's a good movie.
Oh, my God. I mean, one of the worst movies. Steven, did you ever see Wild Wild West?
I think I went to the movie theaters with my dad and my brother to see that movie.
Yeah, I mean, you had to be a kid.
I was a child, but I just remember not being interested in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an awful movie.
All I remember from that movie is the song.
It's right. The song was great. The song was Will Smith, right? But there was
Wild
an
Wild
original song from Kool Moe Dee called Wild Wild West, which is 1,000 times better than what Will Smith did.
Hawk, no Shawshank or Pulp Fiction. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But the concept of the movie where like
Robots in the Wild Wild West?
robots back in the day, and they were like steam powered, and the guy in the wheelchair,
Terrible.
like, he had no legs, but
Terrible
he was
movie.
like a handicapped villain.
Terrible movie.
I
Did you see
enjoyed
it, Solana? You see Wild Wild West?
I think I saw it in the movie theater as well. I saw it not too long ago, though. I think during the pandemic. I rewatched it. That's got to be the worst movie ever made.
It's
I believe.
awful. Yeah, it's awful. I mean, a truly awful movie.
The concept was cool.
I don't even think the concept was cool.
Was that the start of Will Smith's downfall?
It's a good question.
Well,
All
no,
right.
he did Ali
Downfall.
after that,
Hell, you talking about, Steven? This is our first argument as a couple. Downfall? What are you speaking of?
He did I Am Legend after that, so there was
Yes,
no
he did.
downfall.
So that
Am
was
Legend.
indeed the start of his downfall. You are
I-
correct, Stephen.
I,
You're
Robot.
100%.
I
It
Am
was
Legend.
indeed the beginning of his
Bro.
downfall.
I, Robot, I Am Legend. are good
Happiness.
movies.
Get out of here, Will Smith.
Pursuit of Happiness. You
Oh.
didn't like.
but
Come on.
he did Ali. He kind of fooled us with Ali,
Ali.
and then it went
Fooled
downhill.
us.
I never saw Pursuit of Happiness.
The scene when he walks out, everything goes well for him at the end. Spoiler. And he's in a sea of people, and he's like holding in. Like I cry every time with that scene.
I've
That-
never seen it. I've
Iconic.
never seen it.
You're heartless. You shouldn't watch it.
On this day in 2007, the first iPhone went on sale. Is that true? In 2007 was the first iPhone? Is that right?
Sounds about right.
Man. It had 4 gigs of storage, a 3.5-inch screen, and cost $499. I remember my first computer, the first computer that Lori and I bought for our home when we got married in 97. Our first computer had a 2-gig hard drive. The
Ooh,
computer.
You were killing them.
2-gig hard drive, and we were killing it. What are we going to do with all these gigs?
Oregon Trail.
Happy birthday. Celebrity birthdays today. Michael Phillip.
Who is that again? What's his name again?
I mean,
Phillips?
that's got to go in a song if you can find it, because what was that?
Oh,
What happened there? Michael Phillips.
I don't know. You reading the paper?
That's September all over again.
You talking about the swimming young
Yeah,
man?
Michael Phelps.
Oh, okay.
Michael
He
Phelps.
goes by Phelps, I think.
Trevor Ariza is 36.
Wasted roster spot.
Fantasia from American Idol, Fantasia Barrino, 37.
Wasted roster spot. What?
Hey, bring him in like he's going to be the new Jay Crowder.
He was.
No, he wasn't.
Numbers
No,
were
he
identical.
wasn't.
He wasn't bad. He really wasn't bad. He had a slow start. I think a lot of people got turned off at the start, but he actually, by the end of the season, I thought was a valuable asset. Matis Yahoo, 42.
Who's that?
That's it was an Orthodox Jew that was a reggae performer. But he's not an Orthodox Jew anymore. Did you know that?
I did know that. Yeah, he's not.
Oh. Weird that I can pronounce Matis Yahoo and not Michael Phelps.
That's weird.
I just did it again there.
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps. I'm Michael Fellows. I'm Brian Fellows. You remember that? Tracy Morgan. I'm Brian Fellows. Anybody remember that? Mike Tyson is 55 today. Mike Tyson.
One of the most scariest, probably the scariest athlete of my lifetime.
Right.
Like, just watch him walk into a ring, you knew what was about to happen every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, 4 o'clock hour is next on Hockman and Michael Phillips.
This is the Hawk and Crowder Show.
I wish I had boobs. They seem like they are way more advantageous than what we have.
Okay.
Hawk and Crowder.
Brady Quinn, college football analyst on Fox, a radio host, a former first-round NFL draft pick. I mean, I could go on and on. Of course, the most important accolade, if you will, a longtime friend of the program. And here he is, Brady Quinn. Hello, Brady.
Gentlemen, and I use that term very loosely. How have you been? I feel like it's been a long time. Miss talking to you guys. Always still enjoy listening to you. But thank you for playing the Nickelback. I feel very tickled that you guys remembered.
Yeah, well, we want to make you feel at home. We want to make you feel comfortable. We know you have Nickelback playing in your home at all times, even at a low level if it's, family dinner time. But we want to make you feel
It's how my first child was born. Yeah, full disclosure, it's how my first child was born.
Alexa, Nickelback now.
He goes, Alexa. She goes, Nickelback. I know.
No, it's called the baby making playlist. It's just the greatest hits from Nickelback. So it lasts for about 30 minutes, and I don't personally, but the playlist lasts that long.
Say stud.
Good for you. We're giving you a standing O here in the studio.
We could have all three children in that span of time.
Unbelievable. This guy, the things we learn. Have you, Solana tore his ACL. I was just mentioning Giannis and his injury last night. Solana here tore his ACL. He's all hobbled. He had ACL surgery. Did you ever have a major leg injury or a torn ACL?
No, I had a torn PCL, which isn't major. They don't even repair that thing. They just tell you to strengthen your leg or whatever and deal with it. My Liz Frank, that was probably the most significant.
Ooh, that's
I still got some
painful,
hardware
right?
in my foot from that.
Isn't that painful?
Yeah, that was the most painful surgery I endured. And I think back surgery is not bad. I've had some pins put in my finger. That was kind of cool, only because I got to they blocked my arm, so I got to watch the doctor take a pair of pliers and pull both pins out. That was pretty neat. The Liz Frank was pretty painful.
You still got the screws in there?
It's funny. They use kind of like staples is how they describe them, but they look it's hard to describe what they look like because they don't look like a staple. It's almost like there's two staples put together for each. So it's a little more significant like that. But, yeah, they're both in there. Oh, they're fused in there, baby. They're not coming out.
Yeah, no, because I had Liz Frank on both feet, and I still have, I don't know what the feet is.
I love both feet.
Got all the feet, Brady. You know what I'm talking about. But no,
Two out of my 3 feet have the Liz Frank.
But I still got my little staples or whatever they're in there, and now they're coming up. Yeah, I'm.
But what is the Liz Frank injury again? Doesn't
when
something separate?
Yeah, when your foot splits in half, pretty much. Yeah, it's nasty.
But you keep saying the surgery. You say the surgery was painful, Brady. Wasn't the injury itself unbelievably painful?
Yeah, it was, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're not really thinking about it when it happens. You're playing. You get your adrenaline going. After the surgery, you're laying around the next day like, dear God, why did I do this? It didn't hurt as much as this,
And Brady, talking about Solana's injury, and I might be heartless. Do you feel as bad for just a normal person getting injured as you do for athletes that get injured? Because I don't.
Well, my question is, how did you injure it, or how did he injure it?
I'm a hooper, Brady. So
Oh, goodness.
I mean, why do you start
All right. Well,
with
now I don't
that?
feel bad. No,
Yeah,
no.
I mean,
The
why
way
do
you
you
started that,
start
I
with
don't.
that?
I don't feel bad at all.
He did.
You don't
he did.
derive any income off of your body. So,
He did.
At least to the best of our knowledge.
He did do it on the basketball court. Does that make it any more? It was
No,
non-contact.
like
of
I said, he's
course.
not a professional athlete, and he doesn't derive an income off of that, to the best of our knowledge. So, it's a little different. It's a little different for a professional athlete and just average Joe pickup game.
Oh, aren't you athletes so special? Oh, you two athletes are so special.
1% of the 1%, Hawk. Just remember that.
So here's why I wanted to talk to you. So we had Aronde Gadsden on yesterday, and I was asking him a question because he had just flown back from visiting his son at Syracuse, and I was trying to guess what kind of flyer Aronde is because I've flown with Crowder before. And Crowder, it's wild. Doesn't matter if we're flying to Chicago for a couple hours or 6 hours to Vegas. He does not bring anything on the plane with him. He doesn't bring headphones.
Oh.
He doesn't. He has no content. And I'm a content king. I have backup content in case my first content goes down. Crowder just sits there. He writes in his notebook for 6 hours.
Okay.
He just doesn't do anything. So I asked Aronde. And Aronde is the same way. Nothing. He just looks around on the flight, and he sizes people up. They both kind of act like undeputized air marshals.
Yes.
And so I was curious, because you fly a lot. Obviously, you travel a lot with your schedule. How do you travel? Do you? We took, before you came on the air last hour, we all had our guesses on what you do when you fly. So what do you do?
Well, first off, I feel like I'm somewhere in between you and Crowder. And before I tell you what I do, I just want you to know that I remember talking with someone with the FBI, like a profiler, and they did say that like serial killers are the type of people that don't take anything onto a plane
100%.
and just sit there for hours at a time.
100%.
So,
Yep.
Crowder, I'm not sure what that means, man. But
I know what it means. I know what it means, and send someone to his backyard right now.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. If there ends up being like a SWAT team coming over, I think you might have to do something with your etiquette, on an airplane. But
Brady, we're working together, Brady. I'm working with them. I'm watching the plane.
I mean, we were. I get it. Like you're right there. It's like that civilian deputy on the plane. If anything happens, I want you to go on my team. I know that much.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of film, honestly. I basically prepare. I try to do all I can work-wise while I'm on the plane. If maybe I'll doze off a little bit depending on the trip, how long it is and all that. But I'm a huge geek. I don't even listen to music. I just literally watch film, prepare. Because to me, it's like that's how I transitioned into broadcasting. No one taught me. I didn't go to school for it. I didn't know any different. So I literally took it like if I'm a quarterback right now, I'm flying to go play whatever team, I'm watching film on that. And so that's usually what I do literally for about, if it's to LA, 5 hours. And I'm sending notes to a lot of our producers and stats guys and trying to get stuff up there for content, which the best part is about 80% of it never sees live air. And then I go through that crazy, procedure every week thinking that all the preparation I'm doing is actually going to be utilized at some point, but it never is. So.
Brady Quinn is with us. Would you guys like to congratulate me? Because I said he is preparing for broadcasts every time that he flies. I had a feeling. Solana's take was that you are very important guy who doesn't want to be bothered. You put the eye shades on, which is to tell people, don't look at me, don't bother me. I'm Brady Quinn. You know I'm Brady Quinn. I know I'm Brady Quinn. I don't want to get hassled on the plane. So whether you're sleeping or not, you put the eye shades on, and that's a warning to people to leave you alone.
No, I think is basically the silent FU is when you put in AirPods. If you're the type of person who's going to try to talk to someone with headphones on or AirPods, then it's like you're kind of looking needy, a little bit desperate on a plane. And so if I don't want to be bothered, I'll put on a headset or AirPods, and I won't be listening to anything. I'll just assume that most people won't bother me then if I have AirPods in.
Yeah, what is with the person that will talk to you even when you have headphones on and they don't get the hint? Because that'll happen to me sometimes. And so I take one ear off, right, and I listen. I go, yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. and then I put the thing back on, so obviously, hey, I'm done now, and they keep on talking. What is with that person? They're needy?
Well, they're a step further than Crowder. See, they haven't brought anything on the plane, so they need in-person entertainment. And so what they've figured out is if they can just find a new friend to talk to for the next 5 hours, maybe that'll help pass the time. Or they're one of those like extreme networking business types where they're constantly trying to build out their network. They're probably going to take your cell phone, your social media accounts, and your email down. And then that way they'll be able to put you within their network to send you God knows what, motivational emails, chain emails. Maybe it's just, a happy birthday every once in a while once they figure out where you live and what your birth date is at some point.
Yeah, Brady, I tell them I'm working because I'm patrolling I don't have time to talk, ma'am. I got to make sure this plane is safe. I tell them I'm working.
You know what's funny, Brady? That's not even a joke. Crowder, my right hand to God, Crowder, at the end of a flight, has been thanked by passengers getting off the plane who legitimately thought he was an air marshal.
And I say I'm not, but air marshals say they're not. They can't admit they're air marshals. So thank you so much for your service, sir. No. I'm just here in Vegas.
Right.
Wink, wink. Okay, we appreciate it, sir. 6'3" black dude with nothing in his hand, staring around the plane,
right.
Paranoid. Yeah, right. I look like a damn air marshal. Right. Brady, what's the best seat? We talked about this with Aronde Gasson yesterday, and we had different takes. The best seat. We know the middle's terrible. Are you an aisle?
Well, first of all, Brady flies first class each and every time. There's not a single flight.
No.
Is there a single flight you've taken in 10 years that's not in first class?
Well, first off, 2-hour rule. If anything that's 2 hours or less, there's no doubt I'll fly economy. I'll fly Spirit. First off, Spirit's about all I can fly down here to get a direct flight to Columbus, where I'm from. So whenever I want to go back home, I got to fly on Spirit, and there's not really first class there. There kind of is, but not really.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure if you consider it first class.
I've stopped flying Spirit because I used to. My wife's family has a house on the Jersey Shore, and so it's the only airline here that would fly into Atlantic City direct. And I've stopped taking them. I now fly to Philadelphia and drive an hour and a half because I can't stand Spirit.
Yeah, no, I trust me. It's not always the best experience, but it does get you to point A to point B. And the Southwest is kind of the other option, which is I call it the cattle call of the airways.
Yeah, that is
because when you're in your group boarding, they're like, "Round up, come on over here, just round up."
And you can't be like you're Brady Quinn, like that can't
No, of course I waltz over like the rest of the cows. We all waltz over. They just take their big staff and they shove us down the jet bridge, and we go pick our seat. That's how Southwest Airlines operates.
Yeah,
they think it's genius. I look at it, I'm like, I feel like I'm livestock. I'll be honest with you. Just go ahead and tag me and send me on my way. Let me get to where I'm going. Okay. First off, bulkhead, by the way, is the biggest bunch of crap. Okay. Everyone tries to sell you on bulkhead. You have no storage in front of you,
right? And
because you got to put everything up. And then, especially if you have long legs, I don't care if you're window or the aisle, unless you're going to tilt and put your legs out in the aisle, you don't have that much room. So I hate the idea of bulkhead. I hate how they try to sell that as a premium seat.
But you have no one that's reclining back into you, though. You have that.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, you're just going to recline back too, probably,
right,
unless you get one of those unfortunate exit row seats. Which, I mean, I would say this: if you can get an exit row window seat, that trumps everything else. But outside of that, I would say it's an aisle, just because I have long legs, so I need the ability to be able to stretch out into the aisle at some point.
Now, Aronde says that he will actually, after the flight attendant has asked all the passengers in the emergency aisle whether they're willing and able to, do whatever it needs to be done, Aronde will then follow up on his own and ask them, and sometimes will say, I'm looking at you, you don't look physically capable, and I'd like to switch my seat with you. Would you ever do that?
Oh, I don't think I'm going to question someone's physical capabilities in today's society. I mean, my God, everyone's offended by everything nowadays, so I'm going to go ahead and take a hard pass on that. But when push comes to shove, if we're in an emergency, I am going to throw that human being out of the way and go grab that window exit and to take complete control in that scenario.
Yeah.
I've already mapped out, I'm in a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, exactly my choreographed moves to remove this human body from near the window, if that's the case.
Yeah, Arande says that he lets them know that too. If they won't give up their seat for him, he says, I just want you to know, like, you're not going to stand in the way of me getting off this airplane if I need to, just so you know.
No. See, you can't forewarn them, because then in the moment they'll know it's coming and they might tense up or resist. You can't say a word to them. Because that way in the moment, when you take it by complete surprise, they'll be more in shock. They freeze up, and that makes them easier to grab and toss out of the way.
That's a good move. Crowder, you probably know that move, right? Because you're almost registered air marshal.
Yeah. Never warn him. Just
I'm
sneak
a
up on him.
volunteer air marshal.
Yeah.
Don't let him see you coming. Brady Quinn is with us, and we know this from past conversations with you. You do not snack on the plane because you don't snack in your real life, right? So unless it's mealtime, and literally they bring you the Gardetto crackers or they bring you the Biscoff biscuits.
Oh, Biscoff.
You will not, on a 5-hour flight, if it is not mealtime, you will not crack open the Biscoffs.
Nope. I will. They either serve me a full meal, especially when you're going cross-country, or I'm just pounding water and probably some coffee, and that's probably about it, because I need to be wired if I'm going to be motionless for 4 or 5 hours watching a screen, watching film. I don't know how Crowder was back when we used to watch film, but sometimes I get a little antsy. I'd have to get up, move around a little bit. Like, it's hard to just sit there and watch a moving screen for 5 hours when it's not like a movie where you're engaged to some capacity. You're just watching straight film. So that's usually what I abide by. Yeah, snacks are only for my kids. If they're flying with me, I'll give them some snacks.
Brady, it's the reason why my linebacker coach, my first year in the league, made me start dipping, because I would go straight to sleep. Bro, you got about 90 minutes out of me watching film. After 90 minutes, I will be snoring. I'm going to go straight to sleep. So about my third time going to sleep in camp, my linebacker coach said, "Here, put this in your lip. Put this right here in your mouth. He'll keep you awake." I've been dipping ever since.
That's great.
Here's the other thing about film is, when they rock the film, like they go back and forth,
yeah,
it's almost like you're rocking a baby. It's basically like your linebacker coach when he's going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with the remote on the same play. It literally starts to lull you to sleep. I want to try to do it with one of my kids if we ever have another kid. I literally want to put up some film, go get that cowboy remote, and just rock it back and forth and make the baby watch and see if it just puts them to sleep like it does most grown adults.
We were talking earlier in the show, I don't even, and this sounds weird, but Crowder and I both, I can't sit, if I go to somebody gives me tickets to a sporting event, it's in the 400 level, I can't sit up there because someone's going to recognize me and they go, "Hey, I listen to you on the radio," and and I'm in the 400 level. That can't feel good. We know what first-round picks get just in signing bonuses. To get recognized on a Spirit flight cannot feel good for Brady Quinn.
No, well, yeah, look, there's really no other option. That's the reality. You're either spending, which based on, maybe may or not have, gotten some charters to go to Columbus, understanding the cost one way is about $10,000 in this market right now. It's either $10,000 or $100 on Spirit. So
but you have to explain that to each and every person that recognizes you, right? You will take the time to explain to each and every one.
I think most people who are flying Spirit, most of them kind of get it. They're like, I didn't have another option. I didn't have another option. This is it.
You're 100% right. Everyone is in the same everyone has the same feeling on a Spirit flight.
They're all emotionally
It doesn't matter how much money you have. There was no other option. This is it.
That is such a great point. Everyone has a shared experience on a Spirit flight, which is none of us are here by choice.
Yeah, no. We had a place to get to. It's the only option. We look at each other and we go, let's just, bite down. We'll have some grit and we'll get through it together.
That is funny, man. Brady Quinn, always love talking to you. Thank you for breaking down training camp for us, or whatever we did.
Yeah, anytime, guys.
See ya. Brady Quinn, that's funny, man. It's like that. It is true. It's true. Everybody on Spirit's just got that knowing nod towards each other. Mm-hmm. It's like men at Forever 21 while their girlfriend or wife is shopping, and it's two guys on the bench. Mm-hmm.
We know.
I know.
What are you supposed to say to somebody? To your point, if you're sitting in the 400 level, or when I'm on aisle 35 on a plane and somebody comes up and says to us, "Man, I thought you'd be closer."
That's the thing. It's because they say that. It's like,
but what's the like? I don't know what the answer. I just kind of laugh and give them a pound. I don't know how to answer somebody that says, "Oh man, Crowder, I thought you'd be up front." Nice to meet you, brother. Like I'm never.
I mean, Brady Quinn's a first-round draft pick. We know what first-round bonuses are.
Brady ain't hurting.
Right. Brady's not hurting, and he's on network TV.
Yes.
Not like Brady's not hurting. You see him in row 19 on a Spirit flight,
watching film.
You're gonna ask him, like,
chugging water.
Hey, man,
Brady, what happened?
What happened, bro? What happened, bro?
Boy, life comes at you fast.
You got to GoFundMe or something?
Can I buy you a drink or some snacks?
All right, that was interesting.
This is the Hawk and Crowder Show.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
Hawk and Crowder.
You missed today's show. First of all, you missed a good show. But I would say the biggest piece of sports news that came out today, Giannis Antetokounmpo, there is no structural damage to the left knee after his awkward landing last night. And the ligaments are sound, according to Adrian Wojnarowski. Timetable to return is unclear, though, but that is good news.
Thought you were going to say the biggest news in sports today was that we were starting a Tiddlywink League.
That, of course, second on the biggest sports news from the day.
You have advantage, though. You're the only one that ever played.
I love that Solana came to me, though. He read a story about Tiddlywinks, and he's like, yeah, I don't know what this is, but I know Hawk is going to know this. Yesterday, right when we were going on the air, you remember I got a tweet from a listener. It was a young black dude, and he tweeted at me, and it was video of him, and he's like, I've got this song in my head, Hawkman, and I don't know who to ask, and I just know that it kind of goes, oh. Like, that's all that he left. And I showed Crowder the tweet, and I'm like, that's Tarzan Boy from Baltimore. I knew it immediately. I knew immediately what the song was, and the guy knew to ask me.
You're my music insider.
I love that. That's why I was pissed that I couldn't get Solana's Rolling Stone magazine question from earlier today.
You're the Woj of 80s music.
I am the Woj of 80s music.
You are.
I will take that title gladly.
How the hell you come up with these names?
So Crowder's going to be off Thursday and Friday, right? You're off tomorrow and Friday?
Yep.
All right, so it'll be me and Solana tomorrow and Friday. Steven, you in Thursday and Friday? Yeah.
Yes.
No Jimmy? I always like to see Jimmy. Not that we don't love you, Steven, but going a whole week without seeing Jimmy. Makes me a little sad.
His hot takes. You're missing his hot takes.
Steven is going to be hosting a best of Hockman and Crowder on Monday, July 5th. We're all off for Independence Day, but we're off on Monday. So Steven is going to have a best of Hawk and Crowder, and we formulated it today. And I have to tell you, I mean, there's a whole bunch of new stuff on there, and it's really good and funny stuff. Like, people are going to love Monday's show.
Is it lame that I listen to all our best of?
Well, especially when we have so much new stuff in there.
Yeah.
It's really good. I'm just looking over the rundown here.
Because I felt funny the other day. You were talking about something that y'all talked about when I was off. And I was like, oh, yeah, I heard that. I was listening to it on the road.
You'll hear on Monday our Corey Dickerson tribute. You will hear Hawk buys Solana a frozen cake. It's a great segment that hasn't been played since.
Hilarious.
You will hear our Talk About It Tuesday from yesterday, which was excellent.
Yeah.
You'll hear Aronde Gadsden's flying habits from yesterday. You will hear, first time since it's happened, Alejandro Solana's Mount Rushmore of ducks. It is one of the funnier segments that we have ever had. You will hear Leroy Horde reacting to Solana's torn ACL on the show with us. Just really fun stuff on Monday. So we'll have a good show, and Solana and I will keep it covered here tomorrow and Friday in Crowder's absence.
Leroy kind of took a shot at me this morning out of nowhere on Twitter. He woke up. I got this notification at 5:50 in the morning, so right before his show, and he said that my apparent knee injury And I asked Dr. Chuck where the evaluation was because he gave one yesterday for Giannis's injury. I asked him where was mine after my injury at the J. He said, Solana has an apparent knee injury playing basketball at the JCC. After a medical evaluation, it has been determined that he is soft.
He didn't kind of take a shot at you. He took a shot at you.
That was a wide open swing.
It has been determined he is soft. You'll hear that on Monday. You will hear Leroy Horde telling him to his face, "You're soft."
2 F's.
Can he call it an apparent knee injury, though? Like, I literally
He's not buying it.
I'm
not buying it. He doesn't have to buy that it's an injury. He's not buying it.
I had surgery.
I mean, there's plenty of people thought Scottie Pippen, they didn't buy the migraine, right?
No. He's mad at coach and Phil.
I sat next to Scottie Pippen. I have that picture. Remember, I was at I was courtside. I had Scottie Pippen right next to me and Spike Lee right behind me. And now I imagine Scottie Pippen thought I was a racist.
Why would he do that? You didn't
Nothing. I was just a white guy.
I
was a white guy in his orbit. Thought I was a racist.
He was questioning it. I don't know if he came to a conclusion.
He was giving Spike Lee the look.
You better leave Scott. Scotty's about to become Kwame Brown now. You better leave Scotty alone.
Scotty is, he's like, the hell with this Last Dance nonsense. I'm about to flex.
Yes. Think about that. You're the man for 30 years, and then Jordan comes out with a documentary that kills you.
Kills you.
And you said it. Like, I thought I was your dude, man.
He's about to
damn.
flex. All right, that is going to do it for us. Everybody have a great and safe Wednesday night. Crowder, have a great and safe long Independence Day weekend. Solana and I will talk with you mañana.
Be concerned, but you ain't got nothing to worry about.
How the hell are the Clippers beating the Suns without Kawhi Leonard? How are the Hawks beating the Bucks without Trae Young? And how the hell is Bill Cosby going out for a milkshake tonight? Well, what's going on here?
Crazy world.
Crazy world we live in. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. You need.
That's all, folks.
You need.